going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Today it is me and Josh.
Hello.
We're once again on the Prius. Don't be jealous. It's so much fun. And we are heading over to Pleasanton because we're going to go look at a Bricklin. Now, if you guys don't know anything about Bricklins, I'm kind of in the same boat. I don't know a lot about them, but I know they were only made for like 2 years. Only made like 3,000 of them. Motor choices, it was like an AMC 360 and a Ford 351. I didn't know about the 360 until I looked that up. But yeah, not a lot of them out there. And the really cool thing about these cars, and the reason why we're going to check it out, is they have gullwing doors. Gullwing doors are cool, just like the DeLorean. And it just so happens that this one we're going to look at, which is, do you know it's a 74, 75? It's one of those. This guy's the original owner, and he also owns a DeLorean. But he's going to be sending his Bricklin to a museum in Canada. So before it goes, we want to go check it out because the car looks really super clean. Hopefully we can take a ride in it. That would be really cool. But I mean, I'm sure I've seen a Bricklin in person. I just don't remember it. I've definitely never sat in one. But it should be really cool to go check out. And yeah, that's what we're doing today. Okay, we're here. Oh, look at that. Wild turkeys. There's something you don't see every day. So it's really cloudy and like cool over here, which is interesting, but I'm gonna go check out a Bricklin. Original owner Bricklin. Let's go into a museum. The guy's name's Sandy. We actually met him at the last video. You guys will see his DeLorean on there. A really nice DeLorean too, so let's go check it out. There. Look how quiet that thing goes up. I can tell I live in a nice neighborhood. There it is.
When I was 18, I used to work on these cars.
Okay, we gotta go check this out.
So it used to be a hydraulic. So it would take like 10 seconds to open the door. So a Bricklin engineer converted into an air system. So there's an air tank on the rear bumper, and I have a compressor on the front. So the pistons are pushed up with air instead of hydraulic fluid. So this is it.
Look at that.
So you can actually see that's the compressor right now working. When you go down to low air, then it adds that. But I'll turn the car on. You can hear how the dual exhaust is, how throaty it is.
Such unique vehicles. That's cool. That's cool. Oh my gosh, look how clean this car is.
Another Bricklin like this. Pretty much that's it.
This car is so... This car is so clean.
So it even has the vehicle information on here. The first 780 Bricklins were AMC 360, right? Yeah. So this is a Ford 351 Windsor. So it's made in Windsor, Ontario. So it increased the Canadian of the car. And you can also see here the acrylic color that's in the body. So this isn't paint. This car's not painted. The only thing that's painted are the bumpers and the side view mirrors.
Okay.
So they vacuum form the acrylic, and then they flip it over and they laminate the glass, and then they press it together, and that's what makes the color.
Wow, I didn't know that.
So this car's never been waxed. I've had this since I was 18.
Wow.
I'm 61.
Oh wow.
So you can see, it was really ironic that this is not my first Bricklin, it's my second one.
Really?
My first one was the 81st one off the line. It was one of those green ones.
Yeah.
And I fixed it up and I sold it to buy this one. So if you look on the manufacturing, my 74 Bricklin was made August 29th, 1974. This car was made exactly a year later.
What are the chances of that?
It's weird, right?
That is really cool.
They stopped making them, 200 more cars, and then they stopped making them.
No kidding.
Yeah, so so this was in August. The company went bankrupt in September. So this is the identification, like X. Well, yeah, X is automatic. If it was a 4, it'd be a 4-speed. Okay. But they only made 4 speeds in the 74. There's only 154 speeds.
Really?
And those are pretty rare. Yeah. And then S is suntan. 5 is the color. And then St. John, New Brunswick is B. And then these are the serial numbers for the car. So they made about 2850, and they had to switch over to 76 emissions where they had to have a catalytic converter. Okay. But this doesn't have that, so you can even use it on regular gas. So I'll shut it off. And the
So it's
center
like,
console, that's called the 76 console. It's padded. That's brand new.
wow.
So I had it. I've had hundreds of parts. I sold the parts already. And so the scuff plate was cracked. This is a brand new scuff plate. I only had 2 sets of these. So the thing is with the Bricklin, it's hard to get some of these specialized interior detail parts for it, versus the DeLorean, we can get all of them. I mean, look at all the owners we have around here. But, and see, the door system I put in myself, but I used to make like $300 a car when I was 18 working on these cars. I worked on about 25 Bricklins.
Wow.
And I also waterproofed them too. It's the original motor.
And how many miles on it?
I have 46,000 original miles.
Wow.
It is.
So I bought it from a dealer in Seattle in my sophomore year in college, and it had 3,000 miles as a dealer demonstrator. So this is an actual brochure. So there's my color.
Beautiful.
There's the white one, there's the green one. There's the suntan one right here. But this tells all the specifics on the car. And then, so this is a company called Auto Modello. And if you look them up, they also have a model of the police cars that Bricklin had for the Scottsdale Police Department.
Really?
Yeah, it's blue and white stripe. But he needed a model to measure, to do the little model here. So he contacted me and used my car.
Really? So your car was used for that model?
Yes. Is this the orange one? Yeah, this is the orange one. So this is the orange colored Bricklin. See the difference between my car?
Oh yeah. That's orange. That looks more gold to me.
Yeah, that's orange. That's safety orange. Bricklin actually had a Canadian stamp made for the Bricklin.
Okay.
So here's the Canadian stamp for the Bricklin.
Oh wow.
That they had. And then they also minted a coin. So this is all going to the museum. So they actually, Canadian government actually did a coin in commemoration of the Bricklin.
No kidding.
Yeah. Isn't that something?
Probably. Safe.
Oh my gosh.
Is that nice or what?
Yeah, that is nice.
It sits up kind of high. It's above your shoulder.
Well, because this is a steel roll cage. See, this is called an SV1. It's a safety vehicle 1. It's a steel roll cage. So there's steel, box steel here. There's box steel here. So if you look, this is all steel. And the gas tank is 21 gallons.
Oh wow.
Through the rear hatch. So, and the bumpers were seated about 25 miles an hour. There's these hydraulic absorbers behind the front bumper. You can go underneath and you can look at it. And then, and there's no cigarette lighter ashtray because Malcolm Bricklin didn't think that you should smoke and drive.
This is like a time capsule.
Can we go for a ride?
Yeah, sure. Now, when you want to close it, you push it until the door's stopped. So you keep pushing it down until it doesn't move at all.
Okay.
That's the air system. See that?
Yeah, you weren't kidding. This car is just like showroom. Like, I can't believe how immaculate it is.
Yeah.
Oh, that's got really good pickup. Wow. That's not bad at all.
It's a V8.
Wow. Yeah.
Let's put the air on. You can feel how good it is.
Oh yeah. You can feel it getting cool.
I don't even have the fan on. Wait till I put the fan on.
Oh wow. Yeah, no kidding. Very nice.
Pretty amazing, right?
Yeah, this is great.
People don't realize what a car this is.
Very cool experience to go for riding that Bricklin. That thing is so clean, so immaculate. It's like the day it rolled off the showroom floor almost. It's just so nice and such a nice ride. Really respectable when it comes to the power, and the air actuated doors are really cool. Just really an iconic car. I'm really excited right now, and I'm not even buying the car. It's not even my car. It's somebody else's car. It's going to go to a museum, but it's just so cool to be invited to be able to see the car and experience the car and go for a ride in the car, which is awesome. I just think that's amazing. So this is Sandy's DeLorean. He just had the stainless regrained. It is just really beautiful shape. Car's a manual transmission. It's very clean inside. You can see through there, but you can see, like with the stainless, you can see how you can see my reflection off the stainless. And just goes to show you, really, these cars look beautiful when they're all done up like this. Says he's really getting the car sorted out, really enjoying the car a lot, and this is going to be his forever car. Definitely a car that'll get your attention right there. So what'd you think, Josh?
Pretty cool.
Isn't that cool?
I'll tell you a little story
No.
about Malcolm. So when I was 18 and I had the green Bricklin, I took it up to Lake Tahoe because my sister lived up there.
Yeah.
And I was driving around, and all of a sudden these beautiful girls were in this car behind me, honked their horns, like, stop, stop. And I stop, and they go, wow, you have a Bricklin, that is great. Would you like to meet Malcolm? And I go, where? Oh, he lives up here in Incline Village. He's my brother-in-law. And I said, really? Just follow me. So they drive me over to a house that's on the water in Lake Tahoe, and Malcolm comes out, and he's like all excited, and he goes, you should hold on to these 74 Bricklins because they're gonna be really rare. They didn't make as many of those. So I'm gonna show you this. This is all wrapped up and for protection.
Absolutely.
But the museum's gonna get this.
Man.
So this
That's
is
neat.
me in my Bricklin from the Black Hawk Museum. That's actually my ex-wife.
No
Gosh,
kidding.
dang, man.
Yeah, this was 1997. So if you look on this one, this is 1992, and there I am with my wife Cheryl, who's the same gal over there. That's in front of my
Wow.
Bricklin. So it's in front of the Bricklin magazine.
This one right here.
Yes, right here and right here. But here's what's cool. When I went to Lake Tahoe, Malcolm signed a dealer brochure, and it said, Sandy, keep those Bricklins fixed and running. I enjoyed meeting you at Incline Village. Best of everything, Malcolm Bricklin.
How cool is that?
So I have this frame like this, so the museum is going to put this up in the museum. This is the actual invoice for the car.
Oh, how cool is that? Look at that. Putting her back in her resting spot. So yes, it is the next day. I woke up this morning and realized that I needed to do an outro for this video, so here it is. First of all, I want to thank Sandy very, very much for inviting us to his home and being so incredibly knowledgeable about the Bricklin. I learned things about that car that I never knew. I was never really that into Bricklins, and it's really interesting to see one that was that clean, that meticulously kept by someone who's an original owner, obviously has a lot of knowledge to share about the car. And you know it's a nice car if it's going to a museum. It was great to be able to go for a ride in the car. So a big thank you to him. I thought it would be really good to end this video with kind of a shop update. So I do have a few things to update you guys on, and I'm going to start with a car that's right behind me, my 32 Roadster. It is finally back. Everything seems to be working pretty well. Still got a little bit of an issue with a hesitation, which I think is probably carburation or ignition. I'm going to go ahead and replace carburation and ignition because I want to get this car completely right. It's a lot of fun, and then I will do a video on it. So that video should be coming very, very soon. I know I've been procrastinating on it, but it's not me. It's the fact that the car has been down, that it's had issues. And I like to try to have the vehicles really nice and where they're supposed to be before I end up doing the video on them. So it's coming. I do promise, since I'm staying here and it's not in the shop right now, the C2 Corvette is not here. My 64 Corvette, it actually went out, had a pulley issue, which was fixed by Eddie, and then Eddie thought, okay, it needs a clutch, which ended up being not only a clutch, but a transmission. So now it's down Al's transmission. Hopefully by the time this video goes up, the car will be back and good to go, but that's what's going on with that one. Also, normally the bus would be sitting here. It's over at the workshop right now. I've got another guy that's been working on it, and it's pretty much done with the exception of the fact that we're going to go ahead and replace the carburetor. It turns out the carburetor has a little leak to it, so I don't want that. I'm going to go ahead and just replace it with a new one, and I think the fuel gauge still needs to be worked on, but other than that, that one should be back here pretty soon. So DeLorean is another one that is not running at the moment. Last time I drove it, which was to Sacramento, didn't get a chance to do very much on the tech day because I had other things going on, as you guys will know if you caught the last video. So I really didn't get to dive into the whole idle issue. But the idle issue got worse, it seems, and it actually did not want to idle. So what I did, I ended up pulling out the RPM relay and the idle ECU and sending it off for a solid state setup, which is supposed to be much better. I'm hoping it will solve my problems. I don't know what else it could be, but the car is just not one to idle. It's struggling more and more, it seems, the more that I drive it. But I'm hoping to get those parts back probably in the next week or two and get those back together, put them in, and I'm hoping this car is done. I'd really like to have this car just done. That was kind of what I was shooting for all along. That's why I dumped a lot of money into it, trying to get it right, and it seems like that's becoming kind of a little bit of a bottomless pit. But as frustrated as I am with the car, still love the car, still very much enjoying the car, and I still think it's worth putting the money into because I want to keep this one for a long time. It is definitely a bucket list car and one of the bucket list cars that I don't want to get rid of. And last but certainly not least, yes, there is a new vehicle in the shop. It is not the 67 Mustang that I want to look at. This is the 66 Mustang. Very similar, same color combination, same basic interior and everything like that. Obviously there's little changes between the 66 and 67, but I found this one on Facebook Marketplace. I've been watching it for a little while, and I finally got a hold of the owner. We talked back and forth, and went down to where he is living and drove it. But of course, like every other vehicle that I buy, there is a couple of glitches. The turn signals are having some issues. I had Ruben work on that a couple of days last week. Right after I got the car, I mean, actually the day I got the car, brought it home, he came over and he worked on it for a little while and worked on it the next day. Thought he had the signals going. I went to take it out to a car event last night, and guess what? The signals still aren't working. So that's got to be taken care of. And I think it needs a new carburetor because it seems to not do very well at kind of low to moderate RPM, going down the freeway or what have you at a consistent speed. It tends to sputter a little bit, kind of a little shaky, a little jerky. Under a load, it does really great, pulls really strong, but just cruising along at a moderate speed, or like I said, a light load, it's struggling. Ruben played with it as much as he could. He did some adjustments, but he's thinking carburetor. This happens to have a Holly on it. You guys know, Hollies and I just don't seem to get along very well. I end up switching out all the Holly carburetors I have for Edelbrock, so that's exactly what I'm going to do with this one. As soon as I do the 32 video, then I'll do this video, and it's entirely possible there may be one more vehicle showing up here in the shop. Who knows? You guys know the way I am, so you just have to wait and see for that. So I'm finally going to end the video. If you stuck with me, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I would really appreciate that. As always, Instagram, PO Box, and Venmo. If you want to support the channel, I would greatly appreciate it. It is going to be in the description below. And with that, God bless. Take care. You guys have an absolutely amazing day.